Thumbs up all together. HAKCIPTA now. Okay, possible. Look how we social media week! Yes! Thank you, Joey. Fantastic!
Okay, we can cut it there. Okay, does that remind you? Yeah? Does that refresh your memory? So that was mainly produced with this little camera here. Yeah, if you're wondering how all of those shots were taken, it was with this camera here. So don't worry, that's not what I expect you to produce today. Okay, because you're going to be using your phones. This is the only other camera that I own apart from my phone. And the video I showed you yesterday of me with my friend Dave, that was all shot on a phone without any external equipment, whether any external microphones or gimbals. I know I have a gimbal friend over there in the right-hand corner. It was just handheld. And so that's what you're going to do today. But before I get you hands-on, I need to take you through a little bit of yesterday, and then pretty much you're going to be filming and then editing and then producing on your phone. Now, I have traveled the world doing this, okay, my friends in Langkawi, and not one single person has failed, okay? So you don't want to be the first person, do you? Huh? You don't want to be that first person, yeah? Now, I try and make it so that I design it so you don't fail, but I also make it so that you have to really think and concentrate as well. So by the end of this, you might feel a little bit mentally fatigued, but it'll most definitely be worth it, because creating videos, I believe, this day and age is a life skill. If you're able to do it, then you're able to open up opportunities for yourself and for whoever you represent. It is that powerful. Okay, so this is me. Yeah, I managed to get a massive 4 followers yesterday. Yeah, and I don't know what I did to offend you, but I'm sorry. All right, but don't follow me out of sympathy, please. Don't do that. All right. Anyway, Twitter, Insta, Snapchat. There I am, and it will be over here as well throughout. You can make a note of it. Right, clicker. Okay, so in order to participate today, you will need at least 50% charge on your phone. I would recommend more, actually. And if you don't have the charge on your phone, then I suggest you charge your phone. Yeah, and if you don't have a charger, I suggest you look to your left and right and borrow that person's charger. Okay? You need to have freed up about 0.5 GB of space. Yeah, on your phone. Now, I don't know what the standard kind. I know you've mostly Android here, so maybe you've got SD cards in there with about 250 GB. I don't know, right? But you need to have a little bit of space, and you all need to install this incredible app. It's called Quick, and that is not a spelling mistake. That is just how we do things in the world of tech, right? Q-U-I-K. Now, whilst you're finding that, I'll give you a brief history of Quick. Everyone's heard of GoPro? Yes, GoPro cameras. So, what was happening is people were coming to places like Langkawi, putting a camera on their head, recording their jump out of an aeroplane or their parasailing, and then they were taking that and not doing anything with it. They're not editing it, because editing is a skill. So GoPro realized that if they want to sell more cameras, they should make it easy for people to edit. And so, this is a GoPro app. The best thing about this app is that it is stable. It is also available cross-platform Apple and Android as well. It is constantly updated, and it's totally... It's okay, it didn't smash. And it's totally free as well. And there is no watermark either on your video. Okay? So, if that's the only thing you get from this session, it's been worth coming. Yeah, because this is a great app. And actually, this is the app I used for that video that I showed you yesterday with Dave and myself. Everyone had a note of it now? Yeah? Make sure you find it, remember it. Blue, white, Q, Quick. Okay. I can't see from here. If you're struggling with it, ask somebody next to you to help, please. Bigger crowd than I normally train. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a challenge, actually. Okay, dear storytellers, that's what you are, isn't it? Yeah? You're not marketers, thank you. Thank you, Shakira. Yes, all marketers, all of you. We are gathered here today because, well, I've kind of already answered this. Video is a primary skill. It's something which people think is relatively straightforward, but it requires a lot of practice and dedication, but you will see the rewards off the back of it. And so today you are going to be put through a very intensive process. And I warn you, you will feel like giving up. Okay? You will all feel like giving up. And if you feel like giving up, that's a good sign. Yeah, it means that you are being challenged. Okay? But I won't allow you to give up. The doors are locked, right? And I'm here. I will find you, right? Okay. Okay, so why smartphone video? So this was, I don't know, what, this is a Sony, by the way. Okay? This was considered like a portable recording unit back in the day. Now a videotape recorder that goes anywhere you go. Now clearly what you're walking around in your pockets is a lot more portable than this, it's a lot more powerful than this as well. And the main reasons that you want to do this on your phone and not on a dumb camera. Yeah, cameras are dumb, smartphones are, well, they're smart. Speed. If you're in the moment, you can record and you can edit at speed. You don't have to transfer files anywhere else. Remember, it's a fully fledged film production studio in your pocket. Yeah? Remote production. You don't have to have your laptop with you, you don't have to have your iPad with you. Your phone goes with you everywhere. Yeah? And I mean everywhere. It's the last thing you touch when you go to sleep, it's the first thing you touch when you wake up in the morning. Right? If there's a story to tell, your phone is ready for you to tell it. Content variety. So the number of apps, I mean, I won't show you the list of apps that I have available on my phone that help me with all of this, but even I can't keep up with it. I have maybe, 100 plus apps for creativity, things that do very niche things, and there's probably another 500 of these, and they're just coming about all the time. All the special effects that you want, all the transitions, all the most sophisticated editing that you want. The most common question is, can it do the exact same thing that I can do on my desktop or on my laptop when editing? Yes, it can do all of that. All right? Greater context. So again, because you are in the moment, you're able to provide those stories in a timely way, in a contextual manner. Right? There's no point these days sharing a story 2 weeks after something's happened. Right? If you're able to identify the story, create the story, share the story, at the right time, at the right moment, it has a greater chance of having the impact that you wish it to have. More resource. If you're part of a social media team, well, everybody will have one of these phones, right? It doesn't require a great deal of investment. I mean, yes, I've got a couple of pieces here, but they're not expensive comparatively to how expensive things used to be. I mean, essentially, what you have in your pocket 10 years ago, you're talking maybe tens of thousands of pounds for the equipment that was needed to do something similar, not even as good. And career options. It'll definitely give you career options. Because like I said, all of the platforms now, they're video storytelling platforms. If you put your professional story on there, and you do it in a way which is engaging, then opportunities will come to you. People will get to know you, because for me, that is what the online space is about. It's not about telling people how great I am, it's just about showing people what I do. Yeah? And then by showing people what I do, they build a relationship with me without me knowing it. And then they come a step closer to actually getting in touch with me and saying, well, can we discuss this, and this? Yeah? Okay, a little bit about me. That's the closest icon I could come to me. Yeah, the emoji. Yeah. It's Father Christmas. I don't know. Right. So how did I end up doing this? Right. I have no formal training in what I'm about to teach you. Okay? Don't be scared. All right? That comes with its advantages. The advantages is that I saw no barriers to this when I started. Yeah? So people who've gone through a formal process of understanding how to make films, there is a very traditional way of learning. Like, for example, a small example, that video I just showed you was vertical, wasn't it? It wasn't horizontal. Right, traditional film schools will teach you to film landscape, right? And they're horrified if you're filming vertical, but we all watch things vertically because of what our phones have done to us. So I learned how to do this because I was marketing my own business. So my background is in business. It's in wealth management. It's in the sharing economy. You know Airbnb? You all heard of Airbnb? Right, I started a business similar to Airbnb 2 years after Airbnb. And I ran it for 6 years. And I had to learn how to market it. So what I'm teaching you is pretty much what I taught myself. And the only place back then to actually market with video was YouTube. And Facebook was just starting, which sounds strange because everybody does video now, but then it was like small. And all I had in my pocket was an iPhone 4. iPhone 4. But I thought, well, the iPhone 4 takes HD video, so why not? That's the advantage of no formal, I was too stupid. Is somebody playing with the app? I was too stupid to know better. So I said, okay, let's film a vlog. And then I practiced and I practiced. And then something happened which I was in the right place at the right time. So I don't know about here, but in the UK, and actually in many parts of the world, journalism was suffering because advertising revenue was going down. So there wasn't enough money to pay for the camera person, the reporter, and the researcher. That all had to become one person. And then the phone was becoming more and more powerful. And it was all happening at the same time. So cost savings, but also the possibility to produce things. So really, the technology and this whole space has been driven by something called MOJO, mobile journalism. Yeah? And all of the major news channels started to create divisions, like Al Jazeera, Sky News, BBC. They all have specialist smartphone divisions now. And the BBC even have an in-house app so that their reporters can take video and send it through to their editors, and then they can edit it at their central office as well. So all of this was going on, and I happened to be in the right place at the right time. And then I came out of that business and I set up my consultancy, right? And remember, I ran my consultancy on phones, which is worse than all of yours. Okay, I'm pretty sure. iPhone 5S. Okay? Anybody here with a 5S? Okay, maybe not as bad as that one. I don't know, I didn't see it, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I have been where you are. I have no advantage over you. The only thing that I've done is I've persevered. And I absolutely believe this, that talent means this much, practice means this much. If you have the desire, you will be able to do this. Okay? You just have to get through the pain. Some of you will be better than others at doing it, right? But that doesn't really mean much. That doesn't mean much. Okay, back to this. What does storytelling mean in 2019? It basically means that with this device, you now have access to whoever you want, which is quite a scary thing because it means you have no excuses. Okay? But what it does mean is plenty of hard work to be able to get to those people, because everyone can get to those people now and everybody's lazy. Right? Everybody just wants that attention very easily. But none of us are willing to give people our attention ourselves unless people work for it. So why do we expect different when we try and put our messaging out there? We have to work for it. And we have to make it worth engaging with. It has to evoke some kind of response. If it's simply old school advertising, forget it, you're wasting your time. Okay, I didn't ask this question yesterday, and you are going to have to give me an answer. More than one of you as well. Okay? And there's no right and wrong to this, but I mentioned what you have to say. So, what's the standout quality of an effective storyteller? The standout quality of an effective storyteller. Think of somebody you know who tells great stories. Okay? What's the standout quality? Original? Okay. Originality? Descriptive? Personal? Interesting. Yep. Honesty? Sorry? Knowledgeable. Okay. Knowledgeable. I didn't hear that. Moral. Moral. Okay. I mean, these are. I mean, none of them are wrong. But I'm thinking of okay. Let's bring this to the world of this. Let's whisper the word marketing.
Emotion.
Okay, this is interesting. So personal and something for your community. So you're getting closer to what I'm thinking. There's one word.
Emotional.
Okay. Empathy. Yeah? This is your number one quality of an effective storyteller. Definition of empathy is the ability to know what it feels like to walk in somebody else's shoes. So when we think about who we're communicating with, do we understand them? How well do we understand them? Do we empathize with them? And if you tell stories with that in mind, then you're most likely going to be able to connect effectively with that individual or that group of people. Empathy is absolutely the number one quality as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what that text is meant to be, actually. Your version of PowerPoint needs updating. So we're not going to go into this now, but you need to ask yourself, who is your audience? Seriously. When I sit down with my clients are property developers, architects, wealth managers, lawyers, right? They think they know who their clients are. But I ask them, once they answer it once, I ask them again. And then I ask them again. And I keep asking them until they put their hands up and say, I don't know, because it's so easy to skate over this. This has to be the first question. If you don't know who they are, then how do you know what you're looking to produce, to connect with them? And you might have different audiences, right? You might have different audiences, so you need to think about creating different things for different people. Yeah? You wouldn't create the same thing, for example, in Malaysia for somebody in Europe. That's obvious. But we now are thinking really niche now, like people in Langkawi versus people in KL. I mean, I don't know what the difference is. I'm assuming there's a difference, right? Yeah? So you really need to know who your audience is. Okay, anyway, that's enough of that. You came here to do things. Right, this is the 1 hour plan. Have a look at it. It's quite pretty. I worked on that quite hard. It's very difficult to do this kind of thing in PowerPoint. Very, very difficult, actually. Okay, 5-minute intro. That's lasted about 15, sorry. Okay. Planning and filming. Planning and filming is going to take you 15 minutes. Yeah, that's right. I'm happy for you to do it alone, but it's probably better you do it in twos. Yeah? So find a friend. Once we've gone through the planning and the filming, you will then get actually 20 minutes to edit. Now you notice that editing is 5 minutes longer than filming and planning. That's because the magic happens in the edit. Yeah? You can turn something that is... What's going to happen is this, I guarantee all of you. You're going to go and actually you're going to leave this room. I'm not going to force you out or anything, but you can basically go wherever you like to film, right? And you're going to look at what you film and you can think this is rubbish. Yeah, I've just wasted my time, right? I'm not very good at this. That's everybody, okay? So relax, everyone's thinking the same thing. But here, this is where you can turn that rubbish into gold. Because that's what editing does. Editing offers the opportunity to pick out the best bits. Yeah? Because we always like to show the best bits on social media, don't we? And then once we've done the edit, we've actually produced the piece. We then can move on to publishing. That's right. Publishing on social media. You. Today. Publicly. Yeah? So what I've assumed that Instagram is the most popular platform in this room for this purpose. Would I be correct? Yes? No? Okay. Because this is where we're going to put your videos up, and we're going to put a hashtag on them. Right? And then you'll be able to view everybody else's video afterwards as well. Now let me tell you this as well. Okay? This is I guarantee you this. Nobody cares about your video. Okay? You care about your video. I don't care about your video. They don't care about your video. Nobody cares. Nobody's even going to watch your video. Okay? So before anybody says, oh, you know, what if my boss sees it or whatever, he won't see it. She won't see it. Right? It goes on there, and if you want later on, take it down. Yeah? But be brave today. Okay. And then finally, we'll have a recap. All right. So you will have 1 hour to plan, film, edit, and publish a 30 seconds. No longer. 30 seconds is your limit. If I give you longer than not, something else is going to happen is this. Some of you are going to create a 10-minute video. Right? No. 30 seconds is a lifetime to tell a story using video. Okay, so it's going to be publish a video story about these. Basically, you're feeling one of these at the moment, right? Either very confident, terrified, or you don't know what to think, right? So the first thing I thought about was, you could tell about 𝐒𝐀𝐌𝐴, but that's a bit vague, isn't it? I mean, what about 𝐒𝐀𝐌𝐴? So the next topic, I thought, well, social media. Again, it's a bit vague, yeah? So then I thought I'd put the two together. Aha, you see what I did? 𝐒𝐀𝐌𝐴 Social Media Summit. So, the reason this is a good idea is because you have spent the last 2 days completely immersed in this summit. So it's absolutely front of mind. Okay? I'm making this as easy as possible for you. Yes, Shakira, I am. And so, yes, this is what your video is going to be about. Now, you're probably thinking, well, how am I going to do this? Right? And what about this summit? Well, there's a multitude of things that this summit has covered. There's many different themes, and I'm going to ask you to shout out themes so that everybody else can write down these themes. Okay, so we're going to collectively work out what the different ideas potentially are, right? But before we do that, let me tell you the planning tool or the acronym that I use when I create content. And it's not like rocket science, okay? And this is just a formula that I use to create any content, but for me it's video. Prep, okay? Firstly, it's easy to remember, okay? And I came up with it, so if you mention it to anybody, you have to mention me. Okay, first step is planning and research, okay? Not hitting the record button. The first thing is not hit record. How many times do you see people go, to conferences or whatever, and they just record the whole thing and they put it online? Who's going to watch it? No one's going to watch it, right? Let's work out what you're trying to do. So you do the planning and the research. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? Let's put the bullet points down. What is that going to look like? It's called storyboarding. Yeah? Storyboarding. Now, storyboarding is a process by which usually you kind of draw out scene by scene by scene by scene what you're looking to produce. But even I don't do that. I mean, I can't draw, so it wouldn't help. I just put bullet points. Yeah? So I think, okay, think about the first bit I showed you. Right? The first video I showed you about my summary of what my day was like yesterday. It actually had an order to it. Yeah? From arriving at the venue, to showing like, you know, the wider angle of what's going on here and who's here, right? And then he showed me at kind of the entire stage with the speakers on, and then he got closer to me, right? And he eventually ended up on me, but he didn't start off on me, right? That's, you know, that's the bullet points. I mean, I didn't write it down, but that's the process that I followed. So when you're planning and researching this, you're going to have a good idea before you film what your film is going to look like. It's called, you're going to have to use your imagination. And I don't know whether this means anything here, but you have to use your mind's eye to see what you're looking to produce before you film it. Because once you can see it, it's very easy to then take the video. Oh, I need 3 seconds here, 2 seconds here, 5 seconds here, 10 seconds here. But without that process, you're randomly thinking, oh, that looks interesting. This looks interesting, you know. Maybe I'll take a picture of the coffee machine. You know, you'll end up with a lot of random things. And if you do the planning and the research properly, it will save you time. How many times have you been to, say, a wedding and just taken lots of video, right? Or a conference, wedding, whatever. And then nobody ever edits it because there's loads and loads and loads and loads of footage, right? And that's a nightmare. Editing isn't that much fun. You want to reduce this process. It's about being disciplined. Yeah? So planning, research, now the execution. Execution is actually the production, it's the editing. Yeah? And then the final part of it is the promotion. Up until execution, so you planned it, researched it, you produced it, executed it. But without properly promoting it, you haven't really done the job that you wanted to. I mean, it's nice, it's for you really. But unless you put it out there in the right way, in the right platform, with the right hashtag, that means promotion means understand the platform that you're using to promote it. Okay, so that's just general tips. Okay, so this is an opportunity for us to collectively work out what ideas we can potentially bring out in these films. You don't have to do, I'm just going to ask you, and you can just call out, and if you like what you hear, write it down. Okay? Okay, so what are the main visual themes of this event? The hotel? Okay, so the obvious one is this room. Okay? Full of people like you. Alright? So that's one potential shot. Now remember, everyone's going to be up and about with their phones at some point. Right? So you might want to bring out the personalities. Okay? The best stories are the ones about people. Okay? So you might want to show how diverse and inclusive. Yeah? And what a wonderful trainer you have today. Right? I mean, it's just a suggestion, you know, you don't, I'm available for selfies if you like. So yeah, so you've got the people here, the venue as well. What else? Talk to me.
The food.
Food. Shane, yes, food, yeah. He's a resident foodie. Camera equipment, yeah, maybe some of the My Events International staff. I mean, they're a good-looking bunch, yeah. Maybe the roles that they play, yeah. Behind the scenes. What else? Hats. Okay. You can, honestly, by the way, this, you can do this about anything you like. I absolutely do not care, right? You can do it. The idea here is not to create an amazing film, is to get through this process and create something that just makes sense. That's it. It's such a low bar, right? So if you want to make it about, you know, the most stylish hijabs of the conference, you can do that. okay? Or the best hats, right? Or whatever, the best dressed. You could do like a fashion item, I don't know. But just make sure it makes sense and it relates to the people here, the venue here, what we've been trying to do over the last couple of days. Does this make sense? Tell me it makes sense. Tell me again it makes sense. Yes. 3 times. Okay. Right. Okay, that's me done. Okay? This is now down to you. Good luck. Right, stand up please. God save none. I don't sing the British national anthem. English national, British, English, or whatever. Okay, so can you all pick up your phones and open your native camera app. The camera app that came with your phone, not the quick app. Just your normal camera